Hello again, I'm Shane from Matrix, coming back with day 3 of our daily tips videos to help you deal with the stress of what's going on in the world right now. You'll notice we have a little different camera angle today because today's video is going to be about movement. What I'm going to show you today is what I do for a warm-up before I exercise, or if I've been sitting down at the computer or the TV for a while and I need to get up and move, this is generally my go-to. It's going to work the entire body. It's going to warm up your brain, it's going to make you feel better, and it's going to help you move a little bit better. So without further ado, I figure we'll just jump right into it. Please feel free to stand up and follow along if you're watching this at home. Now, in the brain, literally the anatomy of it, the sensory area comes before the motor area. So we want to warm up our sensory information first. So before we even start, just take a moment to notice how you feel, the sensation through your skin. Now let's start the movement. As we do this, we want to be pretty vigorous. Take your fingers and just start to run them through your scalp. Go over the entire part of your head. Sorry if it's messing up your hair a little bit, but it's okay, it'll be worth it. From there, we're going to circle along the cheeks, across the nose, the forehead, catch your ears. Take some time to get the back of the neck, the base of the head. Come around and then move through the throat. And remember, we're trying to be vigorous. We are warming up the body. We're building some energy. So imagine it's cold outside and you're trying to get warm as you move across the chest, the shoulders, and the upper back, making sure you do both sides. From there, go down the arms, go all the way out through the fingers, come back up on both sides and switch sides. And there's no right or wrong way to do this, no right or wrong order, just as long as you're getting your entire body. Once you've gotten the arms, move on to the ribs, and then to the belly itself. Make sure you take some awareness into the low back. A lot of people have pain there, and a lot of times it's because we don't feel well. From there, we're going to move on to the hips. And at this point, you should be starting to feel pretty warm. Here, we're going to add in 2 different options. We're going to hit the legs. You can do the legs either just by bending at the waist, but again, if we're trying to warm up and move, it's even better if we do a squat. So if that's something that you can comfortably do in your body, run your hands up and down both your legs, both sides a few times. You'll notice at this point, I'm feeling pretty warm. I'm even breathing a little bit heavier. We then want to bring some sensation to the feet. So if you can balance, just dig your thumbs into the bottom of your foot. If you have to hold on to a table or even take a seat, there's nothing wrong with that. And then do the other side, just bringing in some sensation. All right. Now take a breath or 2. Notice your heart rate's elevated, your breathing's elevated. Try to slow that down again for a moment. And then also just kind of feel how different you might feel in your body. We're going to get into some larger movements now. We're going to add a little bit of vision and vestibular, which is your inner ear, to it as well. So take your thumb out in front of you. Just softly look at your thumb and just let your body start to twist a little from side to side. I've got a soft gaze on the thumb, which means I can see the thumb, but I'm not really focused on it. I'm more becoming aware of what's passing in the background. Now, if this makes you dizzy, that's something else we should probably want to work on. But you can always skip it or just go a lot slower so that you don't get dizzy. After we've done that for a moment, we now want to add in another little bit of different stimulus with just a gentle bounce. Helps release some of the tension through the body, wake up the feet, and also stimulates some other parts of our inner ear. Awesome. So now from there, you should be feeling pretty good. We're going to start to mobilize the body itself. I'm going to take a step back so you can see my feet. We're going to start by warming up the foot. Standing on the ball of the foot, just think about drawing little circles around with your heel. This is going to create some movement through the foot itself, maybe 3 or 4 one way, 3 or 4 the other. Then go ahead and switch to the other foot. Again, lifting the heel. And as you're rolling through this, think about the arch of the foot coming down toward the ground. The heel skims the ground and we lift up. And then reverse direction, going the other way. After that, we can move up to the ankle and just do some big ankle circles. Changing to the other side. There might be some pops and clicks. It's normal. If you find something that repetitively clicks every time, maybe try to avoid that. Now moving into the knees, step about shoulder distance apart. Straighten the legs. Think about turning your kneecaps to the side. They won't go very far until you start to bend them, then it seems bigger. Circle around and come back up. So this is creating some mobility through the hips, knees, and ankles, and we'll reverse direction. Now for the hips themselves, stand a little bit wider and just start to circle your hips around. Imagine there was a hula hoop around your waist that you could trace. Now that we've got the hips nice and loose, we'll move into the low back. So think about getting nice and tall, taking a gentle little side bend, letting your top shoulder roll down, and the crown of your head's going to hang toward your pinky toe. Slowly just circle your head around to the other side. Try to keep your hips as still as you can. Draw your shoulder back up on top of the other. You can stop there, but if you've done this before, and you might want to start small, you can take it into a little bit of a back circle, rolling the chest around, restacking as we come out, and we'll go the other way. Little side bend, shoulder rolls down, slowly start to bring the head toward the other pinky toe. Stack your shoulder back up on top, getting long into the side bend, letting it roll behind you. And again, be careful if you have any back issues. You may want to skip this or keep it small. Circling all the way around, restacking, rising up. From there, we'll move into the chest. If you've ever seen or done yoga before, cat-cow is a very common thing. That's what we'll do here. Just some rounds of pulling the chest forward, pushing the chest back. If you're a little more mobile, you can turn that into a circle. Then from here, arms will extend out to the sides. We're going to move our shoulder blades. Slide your shoulders to your ears, roll them back, pull them down, push them forward. And your arms are just kind of reaching the same point the whole time. And once we've circled a couple ways one way, come back and do the other. Then take one arm, just draw a figure 8 out in front, reverse. Take it off to the side, similar motion. And then maybe top and bottom. If you are brave, you could have done both arms at once, but we'll just switch sides. And again, the order that you go in doesn't matter, not important, just so long as you're catching all the different ranges of motion. You can do plain old circles if you prefer as well. It doesn't have to be the fancy figure 8. For the elbows, we're just going to extend the arms like we did for the shoulder blade movement, but we're going to bend the elbows and open them up and reverse. And then try that coming underneath, palms up, into the armpits and out, and back under again. Moving into the wrists, we're just going to glide the hands up and down, maybe a little bit side to side. The trick to these is keeping your elbows in at your sides and trying to move your wrists apart. And then we'll just do some little hand circles. This motion can be a bit complicated. I'm not going to go into the details, but even if you're just twirling your own hand around, it will do the trick. And then lastly, we'll come back up and do a little bit for the neck, just turning the head, tilting, maybe looking up and down. And then lastly, if you can, hands come up to the sides and just try to bring your cheeks back and forth to your hands, catching all of those different movements. Now from here, you should be feeling pretty good, pretty loose and pretty mobile. The last thing we'll end up with here is a long spine, reaching up through the crown of the head, stretching tall. Then opening the arms out wide to the side, again staying long through the spine. And then finally, a little bit of mobility for the eyes. Just like we did before, have a look at your thumb, but this time, thumb rises up. Circle the hand around, following just with your eyes, trying not to turn your head. I switch hands at the bottom of the circle. Come all the way around, and then reverse back again. You might do this each way 2 or 3 times. You should be going fast enough that you can feel the eyes working, but slow enough that you can stay focused on the thumb. And there you go. One more time, little bounce, release. At this point, you should be feeling pretty good, pretty mobile, ready to get back to work if you're just doing this as a little bit of a break, or ready to go out and take a walk or do whatever exercises you wanted to do. I hope you found this useful. Please give it a shot. I guarantee it'll make you feel good. And there was a lot of information in this one today. So if you're signed up for my mailing list, be sure to jump on the Q&A that I'll be holding later so you can ask any questions about these different movements. I hope to see you there.